West Coast legend and Compton's very own Jason Taylor, also known as The Game, is not here for the games that Complex is here to play, as the platform that Joe Budden helped build seems to have an everyday struggle, with releasing questionable lists including the 50 greatest rappers to come from Los Angeles, with the list including rappers like Nipsey Hussle respectfully at number 10, Vince Staples at number 23, and for some reason Doja Cat placed at number 26. I guess Planet Her and Scarlett really pushed forward the hip hop movement.
Because ain't shit, can't pay rent. Look at what you did. Because ain't shit.
And one that really stands out from the list for being one of the greatest from LA is the rapper The Game, where Complex has him at not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but all the way past 10, with The Game being ranked as the 11th greatest rapper from Los Angeles. Which, in the words of Ray Vaughn, Complex, is you stupid or is you dumb?
Hey, Howie, is you stupid or you dumb? What's up? Shut up.
Because, sorry not sorry, even though I feel Complex overall did a great job with their list, I don't think that The Game is placed in the most accurate placement for being one of the greatest rappers in LA. When The Game single-handedly revived the West Coast hip-hop scene, more specifically in LA, from the very beginning of his hip-hop career, until the very end of the road like Boyz II Men, where The Game still can't let go. Like his $7 million lawsuit settlement with his, and by dropping legendary and impactful albums 20 years after the beginning of his career with the documentary, leaving an everlasting impact in LA hip-hop history, way more than Everlast and The House of Pain.
I came to get down, so get out your seat and jump around. Jump up and get down.
Who somehow snuck their way on this list.
We've all seen the man at the liquor store begging for your chain. Hair on his face, dirty dreadlocked in for the main.
What? Bro.
Yeah, Complex forgot to include Pomona's very finest rap group Above the Law, with members KMG, Big Hutch, who are credited to be the founders or at least co-founders of the G-Funk sound that made the West Coast hip-hop sound very influential in the first place.
Cause I'm C-O-L-P, the beat is kinda humping and I'm
Cause everything is on the one, it's a natural high. You know why.
Everything is fine when you're a little bit of VSOP.
Let me tell you something. We are from Los Angeles. Mother said they get me handle us.
Yet Complex has the audacity at number 50 to add Blueface.
Fuck if he like it, but he gon' respect the scripting. Yeah, it's time to handle business. Thank you, baby. I just look like this fucking nigga mean. Yeah, so fun and games.
Okay.
And I'm searching, looking for Sway, because how, Complex?
With yourself.
How, Sway?
Take a few steps back.
You ain't got the answers, man. I've been doing this more than you.
Doing what?
You ain't got...
And it's safe to say that The Game feels the same way, as he responded on his Instagram story with a bunch of laughing emojis where he gets a little spicy, like the King of New York, Ice Spice.
Think you the shit, bitch?
Calling out Complex for thinking they're the shit when they're
Not even the fault. God damn.
making it clear that The Game personally feels he is one of the best from the West, and in my honest opinion, I have to somewhat agree with The Game on this. Because whether you hate him or love him for his bipolar ways, like his butterfly tattoo that's covered up with the symbol for LA, or for 10 years freestyling the same red rose, white ceiling.
Look, red rose, white ceiling. Red rose, white ceiling. I ain't freestyling in a minute.
Stop the cap.
Let me see, red rose, white ceiling.
The Game's impact to hip-hop, and more specifically LA hip-hop, should automatically have him placed at a top 5 position on this greatest rappers from LA list, and just the greatest rapper in LA, period. Even though I feel like Tyler the Creator is a great rapper and elevated his career further than The Game did, I personally don't think that Tyler should be number 5 on this list.
Lex looking in the index for buff net niggas just for some hot butt sex. Is it you? Is it? I kiss a nigga.
As he did not put on LA hip-hop in the same type of way that The Game did throughout his entire career. That also includes Dr. Dre, who is placed at number 4 on this list, where I can argue that Dr. Dre is known to be more of the greatest hip-hop producers and engineers, but not necessarily one of the greatest LA rappers, especially over the game being known as a rapper, not a producer. But Complex did get the top 3 list right in my opinion, and I don't think the game should be placed over the top 3 that Complex gave. Like West Coast hip hop founding father Ice Cube, the legendary Snoop Doggy Dogg, and the current king of hip hop Kendrick Lamar. Where I could argue that Ice Cube could easily be considered number 1 over K. Dot and Snoop Dogg, as Ice Cube is one of the very first mainstream rappers from LA, being a part of the world's most dangerous and influential rap group, NWA, in the late 80s, being their most prominent writer and rapper from the group.
Straight out of Compton, crazy motherfucker named Ice Cube. Broad niggas with attitudes. The police are gonna have to come and get me.
To then go solo in the early 90s with his Lynch Mob record label, and the first rapper to take the West Coast sound to New York in a major way, with Ice Cube's debut solo album, America's Most Wanted, when he Westside connected with the legendary Public Enemy member, Chuck D, and the Bomb Squad.
Who's the man? Is it some brother in a big hat and in a pimped out Lincoln? Leaning to the side so it looks like he's singing.
When it comes to the game, he's never been known to be a producer or a pop star in the way that Dr. Dre is known as a producer, or in the way that Tyler the Creator can be known more than just a rapper.
Don't leave this microphone.
The game has always been known as being one of the greatest rappers from his region and one of the best lyricists outside of Red Rose White Ceiling. Here is my biggest reason why the game should easily be considered a top 5 rapper from LA in my honest opinion. Making LA hip hop great again. Unlike MAGA Mall's favorite president of all time, I truly mean it when I say that the game made America great again by making LA hip hop great again. In the beginning of his hip hop career in the early 2000s, where the game was building up his name in the streets of Compton since late 2001, dropping local mixtapes in his neighborhood until he got the attention of West Coast hip hop architect Dr. Dre, who signed the game to his Aftermath label in 2003. Even though Dr. Dre didn't know how to properly promote the game for almost 2 years being signed under his label, but that all changed when Dr. Dre asked 50 Cent to let Jayceon be a part of G-Unit, where everything came into fruition for Jayceon, as Dr. Dre and 50 Cent gave the game the perfect game plan to drop the documentary in 2005 that had instant impact upon its release in these hip-hop streets, selling 587,000 units in its first week, going on to go 3 times platinum, dog. How does he stop?
I'm going 3 times platinum, dog. How do I stop? I'm hot.
With standout records like The West Side Story,
Since the West Coast fell off, the streets been watching. If I was asleep in Compton.
If you take a look in my eyes, ain't telling where you from, nigga, what's up?
How We Do, Hate It or Love It, all including 50 Cent,
I ain't had 50 Cent when my grandmama died with my Jacob on. See how time fly.
The underdogs on top.
Dreams, and who can forget Put You on the Game, produced by Timbaland.
I would have been here after Snoop, but I slowed down to show Timberland how to iron a khaki suit.
The documentary single-handedly revived the West Coast in a time where West Coast hip-hop was on a decline. And it wasn't until the game released the documentary that really put West Coast hip-hop back on the map. In the early to mid-2000s, the South had already claimed the mainstream hip-hop sound, with artists like Ludacris,
Cadillac grills, check out the oil my Cadillac spills.
T.I.,
Money rolls, cars and clothes, that's all around.
even Lil Jon and the East Side Boys. Don't forget Yin Yang Twins. But the documentary reminded all of us around that same time how impactful LA has been to hip hop since its founding in 1973. Shout out to DJ Kool Herc. Outside of just the documentary alone, the game held his own after the help of Dr. Dre and 50 Cent, moving on to his sophomore project on Geffen, with his best project, in my honest opinion, with The Doctor's Advocate in 2006. That also kept LA hip hop staying alive more than the Bee Gees.
Well, you can tell by the way I use my walk. I'm a woman's man, no time to talk. Staying alive, staying alive.
With iconic records like Let's Ride,
Game is back, the aftermath chain is gone, the D's is chrome, the frame is black. Hop in the low ride, as long as it got bitches in the back.
One Blood, and Wouldn't Get Far, like Melissa Ford in her Honda Accord.
But they don't know Melissa Ford drive a Honda Accord. She do whatever it takes to get to the Grammy Awards.
You never had a Honda Accord.
I never had at the time I was driving a fucking Mercedes F550.
Was it a diss? It wasn't a diss.
It was supposed to be a diss.
You felt like it was a diss?
No, as a rapper, that was
Really, nigga?
The Game proved not to be a sophomore slump with The Doctor's Advocate, only solidified his legacy by the time he released LAX in 2008, an album named after the iconic Los Angeles International Airport, where you felt Game's pain, featuring Keisha Cole.
Swear to God, it feel like every day is my birthday. California's my birthplace. Game is back.
Don't forget the most important song on that album, in my honest opinion, with Dope Boys, featuring drums from the legendary drummer Travis Barker.
The dope boys in the building. What's up? The dope boys. What's up? The dope boys. What's up?
With these 3 albums alone, Documentary, Doctor's Advocate, LAX, The Game should easily be considered a top 3, top 5 rapper from LA and one of the greatest from the West Coast throughout the entire formation of hip hop. There is no question about that. Even if you don't like the antics that The Game has done, you know, all of that stuff is just outside of the music. When you focus on the music, The Game is one of the greatest with the first 3 albums that he dropped. The Game also revived his career a second time with the Jesus Piece album in 2012, where he was screaming Ali Boumaier.
I'm on the block like D12. I got the white, no D12. That's real shit. No Will Smith and no known the gate, but they yelling Ali Boumaier.
And yes, after that album, things kind of went downhill, but then he went right back up when he dropped the Documentary 2, the Documentary 2.5, even the 1992 album. I mean, look, I love hip hop. Obviously, The Game is one of my favorite rappers, but outside of that, you can go back to those 3 albums, like I mentioned, and you clearly understand that The Game should be way higher on this list, at least in that top 5 position. If you really don't feel that The Game is that great of an artist, that might be your personal opinion, but for me personally, I don't feel that it should still discredit The Game's placement as being one of the greatest in LA. I don't think it's horrible that The Game is placed at number 11, but it feels kind of shady. No aftermath.
What you say is what you say. Say what you say, how you say it, whenever you saying it.
Especially when you have an artist like Tyler the Creator, who really isn't known for being an LA rapper, but more as a mainstream rapper.
My hot dorm, baby, shit is not warm, baby. All these women is a habit. Boyfriend's mad because they thought I was a hey now.
The only thing I disagree with on The Game here is how he feels he can beat all of these rappers that are above him on this list. I don't think that The Game can battle Kendrick Lamar, even Ice Cube. There's no way I would believe that Ice Cube is not better than The Game. That's just crazy.
Crazy.
You get what I'm saying? It's like there's certain rappers that The Game, I feel, are not more influential or better than when you're talking about Kendrick, Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube. But when you're talking about Dr. Dre, yeah, if we're just talking rap, yeah, a little bit. If we're talking about Tyler the Creator, yeah, I would say that too. I just feel like The Game deserves more flowers, even if he is wilding out here in these streets. But it's just a list at the end of the day, and this is just my honest opinion. So let me know what your thoughts are with this list, and let me know if you feel Complex left any artists out from LA. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and until next time, go be amazing and have an amazing rest of your day.